saute and tara da. I would have said, Silvana give me a word for it, be selectal, right? So then they had rah Creole from way back then. Nobody really know. And then because Creole, they on this continuum thing, we move along. And so as time goes on and people move and migrate and they get exposed to different languages, we get closer and closer to sound more like that standard English. Because now we not say saute, we say till. You know, and that sound closer to English than saute. So you have on one end of the spectrum to the other end. And tara. For true. How we get from another to tara, tara to another, or nada, we would have said nada. Or other else. We not even use other else again. Other else are otherwise or additional things.
Right.
So we got so much words where we not use again, and with the so we notice that more and more people they talk more we sound closer to English now. The Creole they evolve into that. Where I happy when I get exposed. Like for me, when I meet people where give me a new word I never hear before yet. But that one true Creole word. Because I don't say I know everything, and I always tell people I open for land. So I want land. I want be sponge wrong anybody for soak up where I could get. And so when people that say like that they launch the Creole dictionary, a man they tell me that they don't say ambe up north. They pronounce it a different way, and I can't remember how him say. But ambe medine, I think he say abe. Abe, and then we say ambe. You know, so slightly variations too. Or you want to say like we also adapt a lot of Spanish words into Creole, like poco tiempo. You know, so we use that, but we think that Creole, you know, but that's not that, like, we borrow it, right?
Another one.
That we just thought they had such a vivid way to explain things. Like, my picnic, if they love when I say bluffoto. Bluffoto, that a word where you have to really vex with somebody if you call them bluffoto, and then you add all the other adjectives to go with that kind of good by itself. You have to add the big ugly bluffoto self or something like that, right? And you cuss out that person or tell off that person.
And that what's so funny about that term is when you say bluffoto in a river valley, we say buffoto, that Belizean, which is a slight variation of the language.
Yeah, so again it shows way that, you know, there's based on where you grow up, the variations exist for true. So how about blackbird pa bun stump?
I hear that when I go in the river valley.
They have this lady, Deetra Gillett, I call she a Creole historian. She just full of knowledge. And she say, we know who we are and we know where we come from. We are not just Konya. We've always been here. Then you would go to Silvana where I always start her definition, the way how she described Creole. Pretty language. It's a pretty language. Like, there's so much culture and so much history, so much belonging tie up in the way we talk. Like, I remember I would have used English, like you may talk about in a formal spaces, but certain times I want to code switch right back to my Creole because I say it best in a Creole. I call it my heart language. And certain things you just have to say it in a Creole. You can't say it in a English. So I think that we all have to do our part to preserve this language. And how I start there, I think I start late. I grew up the talk Creole and simultaneously I would have said English because, you know, we are a tourism destination to in the River Valley. And so, but where I remember most that is stories. My pa used to get the storytellers from around the different villages and bring them to tell story. And of course, they were saying they have to wet their throat before they could tell a good story. You don't know when they wet their throat with, right? They never water.
Right.
And the stories would be so colorful and rich and you laugh, they stay with you. So my pa dead now, I think we go on more than 16 years, 17 years, 18. And And he's like I say, live on through his picnic. We still remember his stories. We still remember how he lived, you know. And so I think that one of the beauty with for we language, where I encourage people to hold on to. Speak it, stop your picnic for learn English. Make your picnic less than if you talk Creole. Because I think that one of the hindrance. So people say, oh, well, I don't want it impact my picnic learning of English. I know why nobody look down upon my picnic because they can't talk. That like we have English as this superior language and Creole is beneath. And that's not true. I think we could coexist. I think Creole can complement English. We don't have to set one higher than the other one, right? And so I always tell people, think about why you love Creole though. Like why you talk Creole. Because you could talk perfect English in your office and in your classroom or wherever. But when you're ready to tell off somebody, where you're going to tell off in a Creole. I remember a girl met up a bus and she did talk about her degree and where else she got. And when I get back with the bus driver, because the bus driver never want to make it come after one unauthorized stop, we gone into Creole. When you derail up with your picnic, where very few, they will tell you, when you're at the school, your picnic, you will throw in a proverb. You say, what? Chicken marry before hawk, pick a feather or something like that before night. Or nightfall. Or fun bring bun till I water run. So much different proverbs that may also a way to teach and pass on knowledge and also school you. Or fowl no hard to catch in a fowl cub, right? Or something close to that. And that's what? You want to run for your punishment, you still have to get home and take your punishment. Right. So I just want to encourage people to look at it in a different light. Regardless of what you may hear about it, look at how the richness of Creole it evolve, yes, but in a good way, I think. A positive way. More and more people that talk Creole there. I shock when I see the amount of people where they use Creole now. The amount of advertisement in a Creole, the signs we see around the country, it only hot so they drink your water, different things like that. That are part of we. Whether you accept it or not, it's a part of us as Belizeans. And so, make me just love the language, use the language, pass it on. It don't have to end with us. And that's my fear, that if we do not have enough people willing to pass it on, willing to use it, parts of it will die, so we have to keep using, keep bringing back, like what you just share where Granny used to say, like if you not share that, when you go, nobody know. Remember where Granny may say, I wanna know who said